Ever hear your name called and immediately feel a cold drop in your stomach? You've done nothing wrong, but your body instinctively prepares for impact. For a lot of kids, growing up meant navigating environments where correction was constant, emotionally charged, or completely unpredictable. The rules for what invited punishment shifted without warning. A developing brain doesn't have the luxury of calmly analyzing those shifting rules. It prioritizes survival, which means it gets highly efficient at predicting danger before it arrives. This animated flowchart shows how the prediction mechanism rewires itself. When a child receives neutral attention, the signal bypasses logic entirely, hardwiring straight into the threat center. The brain executes this emergency protocol even with zero actual mistakes, overriding logical safety with a physical alarm. You can see it happen in real time. Shoulders hike up to the ears, eyes dart around scanning the room, and the muscles lock down to brace for the correction. This child isn't misbehaving, and they aren't naturally anxious. Their nervous system has written a rigid, false rule to keep them safe. Any attention inevitably equals wrongdoing. As that child grows into a teenager, the environment shifts from the fluorescent lights of a classroom to the quiet isolation of a bedroom. But the false rule comes with them. The trigger is no longer a teacher's voice. Now it's a sudden, vague message glowing in the dark. Can we talk? The physical freeze of childhood evolves into something heavier. The nervous system internalizes that dread, converting a bodily flinch into a grinding, constant state of anticipatory anxiety. Before the teenager even knows the context of the message, their brain is furiously drafting apologies. They comb the last 48 hours, building a bulletproof explanation for a crime they haven't identified. Someone without this conditioning might look at that exact same text message and feel mild curiosity, or maybe just annoyance at the interruption. But the conditioned teenager is actively marshaling forces against a ghost. They are preparing for a harsh correction that exists entirely within their own downloaded history. The physical reaction has successfully matured. It is now an invisible, heavy cognitive armor made entirely of over-explanation. In adulthood, the ultimate environment of constant evaluation is the workplace. It is a space defined heavily by authority and performance. A supervisor casually waves them over for an unplanned, spontaneous chat by the door. Instantly, the adult's stomach drops. They assume they've missed a deadline or ruined a project, resulting in a tense, physically guarded posture before a single word is spoken. This conditioned response doesn't stay at the office. It crosses the threshold into the most secure, intimate spaces of their life. A partner sits down at the kitchen table and initiates a serious conversation with 4 words. We need to talk. The external reaction is immediate, aggressive defensiveness. Before the partner can finish their thought, the verbal reflex fires out. What did I do? This is the exhausting reality of the false rule. The adult spends their entire life burning energy, assuming guilt to survive the simplest everyday interactions. If you live like this, you have probably spent years believing this constant anxiety is a permanent flaw in your character. It is not your personality. This constant bracing for impact is not who you are. The science behind this behavior is actually incredibly liberating. This is strictly a learned physiological response. And because your nervous system learned to react this way, it can eventually learn to stop. It takes time, but there is a profound physical release when the brain finally registers that the environment is safe and you no longer need the armor. If this timeline felt a little too familiar, like the video, subscribe to Behavioral Echoes and share it with someone who needs to hear it.